The deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history, the 1900 Galveston Hurricane. 145-mile-per-hour winds, death tolls ranging from 6,000 to 12,000, and countless buildings completely destroyed. Every single dwelling in Galveston suffered some degree of damage. Leading up to the hurricane, Galveston, Texas was in its prime, considered its golden era. After the devastating hurricane, potential investors relocated to Houston instead. The city had less than 40,000 people in it in 1900, and the storm made over 10,000 of those people homeless. Aside from this storm being so powerful, the effects were multiplied due to Galveston having a low elevation and homes that were not built with flooding in mind. This is why nowadays in coastal towns you will often see buildings on some degree of stilts to keep the house out of floodwater. Some ships, as well as islands in the Caribbean, observed weak tropical storms and flooding in the days leading up to the devastation in Texas. Father Reese Gangoit was in Cuba, observing the storm brewing. He noted a halo around the moon, as well as deep red skies forming, signaling bad weather heading north. Gangoit tried to alert the then U.S. Weather Bureau with this updated storm status, but they believed his prediction was wrong. Instead of alerting Galveston, the Weather Bureau instead issued storm warnings to places like Miami. The Weather Bureau director, Willis Moore, had attempted to block telegraphs from Cuba due to tensions after the Spanish-American War. The Belen Observatory, where Gangoit was stationed, was extremely advanced for the time, and this could have saved many lives if this information made it to Galveston. Even in the hours leading up to landfall in Galveston, the weather was unremarkable, and few people decided to leave as it intensified. Galveston was essentially leveled from this storm, and during rescue effort the smells from the thousands of bodies could be smelled for miles. The storm did not end here, and actually made its way all the way to eastern Canada, passing through states like Iowa, Michigan, and New York. Galveston had to build a seawall to prevent a disaster like this from occurring again, but unfortunately, Galveston has been hit with quite a few hurricanes since, although thankfully less deadly.